All right, so this is the bare minimum shot that we're going to be taking without really thinking anything. You can see here, I'm just literally standing out inside my garden, little garden here. And this is the composition we're going to be using in this shot. So we're not really even worried about zooming in, zooming out. I've literally just kept my camera, as you're going to see, in just the way it was. I'm not really thinking anything here. And you can see once we start seeing the camera settings, we're even going to be using the automatic mode. So you can see here, I've just placed my camera on a tripod and I'm just using the basic 18-55 lens, which is just zoomed into something like around 24 mm, just completely without really thinking anything. We are using the automatic mode, so we're not really paying attention to the settings here. Basically, this is going to be a shot where I'll just be clicking. So you can see I'm using a remote here because I'm doing this on my own, and now the shot is going to be taken, and this is going to be our bare minimum shot. Let's see how this looks. All right, so this is the shot that we have just taken for level 1, and as you can see, this is a pretty terrible looking portrait because we really had the bare minimum things going on here. We really did not pay attention to anything, and just let's analyze a few things. So you can see, first of all, the first impression you get from this shot, if I had to use one word, will be clutter. This has so much of clutter. There are like these plants here. You can see this background which doesn't make any sense. Then you can see this, the door here, and of course, from the model or the subject point of view, which is me in this case, we've not really thought about anything. The pose does not mean anything. My clothes are just like ordinary. So that we'll anyway handle later. But from a composition point of view, this is also pretty terrible. One thing, if you notice in this shot, is that it just feels slightly hazy. Okay, and the reason for that is because the sun was right on this side, on the right side. Okay, and if you just notice on the right side of my face here, you can see a bit of the light coming. And there was a bit of this sunlight directly falling on me, and that itself is wrong, as you're going to learn later on, because we never shoot portraits with hard light falling on the subject. In this case, it's okay. It's not that much, but still, okay. But overall, this shot just doesn't have any sort of thing going on with it. And what you're going to find out for level 2 is that we're going to just make a very small change. We're literally going to keep everything the same. We're just going to make one very small change, which will be from the camera side, which is that we're going to change the orientation. Okay, so that we lose out all this unnecessary negative space which is coming because of this landscape or the horizontal orientation in which the camera was placed. Because whenever you have that, you're bound to have this unnecessary space which just does not add anything to the portrait. Okay, so at least we are going to turn it vertical or in a portrait format, our camera, and we are also going to zoom inside more. Remember, here we almost were zoomed out. It was, I think, at around 23 or 24 mm. So that's pretty close to the zoom out range, which is 18 mm on the kit lens. So we're going to just make these two changes, zoom in and change our orientation of the camera. And you're going to see that's going to make a lot of difference. So what we'll do in the next video is I'll just talk about these changes once more. We'll take our shot. When we finally see the second shot is going to be slightly better than this, and then we are going to go into some explanation as to why zooming in really helps. But first of all, in the next video, let's take this level 2 shot.